Build the most awesome kids fort you can while making friends and eating pizza in Fort. Thank you for joining me today at Tantra Mouse Studio D. I'm Kevin Delp. Fort is a deck building game for 2 to 4 players. This is designed by Grant Rodiek. It's developed by Nick Bruckman, and it has art by Kyle Farron. It's published by Leader Games. They sent us this copy to review, and as always, our reviews are unpaid. In the center of the table, you have the victory point board, as well as cards and tokens. Each player has a player board that lists their 2 best friends, and then they get 8 more random cards that they'll add to their deck for 10 cards total. And can't forget this nice large player aid card too. Here's a quick overview of Fort. Players will be playing cards from their hands, gaining pizza and toys, increasing their fort level, and gaining points any way they can. On your turn, you play 1 card from your hand and can do the public action or private action in any order. You can enhance your action by playing cards from your hand that match the icon needed, like getting more pizza if you play more of this icon, but you aren't using the action on the added cards. Other players have the opportunity to follow the public action, the one on top, by playing 1 card from their hand that matches the icon and then gaining the benefits. Then the active player recruits 1 card from either the park or someone else's yard. You then discard any cards remaining in your hand. Best friends go to your discard pile, but the others go to your yard. And then you draw 5 new cards into your hand. At the beginning of your turn, if you have any friends left in your yard, they go into your discard pile. In addition to getting victory points from cards you are playing, you're trying to level up your fort, gaining cards like made-up rules that are basically endgame goals, and perks that help out your gameplay. The game's over if the park deck runs out, if someone reaches 25 points, or if someone reaches the 5th level of their fort. Then you'll count up points to see who wins. Points from the victory point track, fort level, made-up rule, and if you got the macaroni sculpture. Fort is actually a re-implementation of a game called SPQF that had an ancient civilization theme. This has this fort theme. I think I like this theme a lot better. And Leader Games went full throttle on the theme with forts and pizza and toys and kids and the lookouts and best friends that you can't lose. I love the player aid. It explains all the icons clearly and it makes sense with the gameplay. I personally love games that keep players involved even when it's not their turn. And this game has it with the follow the leader mechanic where you can play a card from your hand even when it's not your turn. Now, it's up to you whether you do want to play that card and see if it's in your best interest. I would say normally it is going to be beneficial for you, but sometimes you can't because you don't have the right icon in your hand, or maybe you don't have room to add more stuff, or maybe you just want to keep that card in your hand because you really want to play it on your turn. Some of the cards that you get throughout the game can be pretty powerful, like copying someone's backpack and adding them to your stuff. You can get a lot of pizza and toys that way. Cards in your lookout are nice because they not only help thin your deck, but also count as that icon when you play a card from your hand during your turn, so it's a great way to enhance your played cards. There's definitely player interaction in this game with the option of people stealing friends from your yard or even perk cards that might trash one of your cards, but the game plays fast enough and just the nature of the gameplay that it doesn't feel mean to me. I love that the player boards are recessed so pieces aren't easily moved if the board gets bumped. Fort is definitely a replayable game, not only because you have all those friends and actions, but also the end game triggers. There was one game where I thought, I can easily get to the 5th level of my fort, but then the park deck was depleted before I knew it, so you sort of have to keep your eye out for those things. The art by Kyle Farron fits the theme so well. I love the colors and the style. Fort was one of my most anticipated games of 2020. I'll put a link to that video up there. and this game did not disappoint. I'm a big fan of deck building games. I love how they integrated this follow mechanic. I think that's what makes this game stand out for me. If this sounds like something you would enjoy, then check out Fort from Leader Games. And as always, we would love for you to hit the like button on this video and subscribe to Tantrum House.
Melissa here, and I just wanted to give a few thoughts of my own about Fort. I do like that you are making decisions throughout the game. Do I want to get a lot of the same suit to make my own actions more powerful? Do I want to diversify so there's a better chance that I can follow during other players' turns? Also, if you want to be a little bit more strategic with the start of the game, you can draft those starting decks instead of just getting random cards.